Yo guys, what's up? LucidDryft here. I wanted to talk to you guys about why you should really consider riding a motorcycle. I've been riding a motorcycle for a couple years now, and I really do feel that the cons are so outweighed by the pros. Riding a motorcycle has really changed my life, and hello there, buddy. And I really feel like it could benefit you guys too. Alright, so just to kind of give you guys a little context as to why I ride. The idea of riding a motorcycle came to me when I did a study abroad trip in Tokyo, Japan. And that experience was just an utter, life-changing event. It was just the best 4 months of my life. And riding a motorcycle is a byproduct of that. So I actually rode on the back of one for the first time when I was a student in Tokyo, and I instantly fell in love with the whole idea of just kind of being the lone rider, just kind of like cruising around and, you know, just kind of getting that different perspective on the things you see every day. And so, you know, upon coming home, I was able to finally get my hands on a bike and get my license and everything. It took moving out of my parents' place to be able to do that, because they were not happy with the idea. But eventually I'd get my own bike, and I haven't regretted it since. So one of the things that I've really come to understand about riding a motorcycle that's just fucking awesome is that you really gain a new perspective on the things you see every day. It's really like seeing the world from a completely different lens. I definitely appreciate life in general as a whole so much more having ridden a bicycle. I really feel that with riding a motorcycle, you're just so much more connected with everything that's going on around you. You're just so much more aware, and I think that comes to you quite naturally, because when you're riding a bicycle, you actually kind of have to be, by default, to be a lot more aware of your surroundings, because, you know, you're a lot more squishy. So by riding a motorcycle, I feel like I'm a lot more in tune or connected with the world, which sounds very cheesy and kind of hokey, but I think the fact that you're a lot more aware on a motorcycle, you're able to really kind of appreciate the beauty in the things that are around you. So I think that's definitely one major benefit to riding the bike, is that you appreciate things more. And just in my life in general, I definitely appreciate things more. Whether it's, you know, my relationships, my health. With my health, for example, you know, just a couple weeks ago, I actually downed my bike, thus some of the scratches and shit. And I had a moment there where, you know, once the adrenaline kind of subsided, I had a moment of laughter. And maybe that means I'm a little crazy, but I think it's just because of the fact that, in my mind, I really dodged a bullet, and I lived to ride another day. Now, granted, my accident wasn't that serious. You know, thankfully I was wearing all of my gear, but it could have been. And so, I appreciate, life so much more. You know, it's really interesting how just riding a piece of metal between your legs can really, help you, you know, get more out of life in that regard. I think another benefit to riding a motorcycle is the fact that you can really embrace being independent. That is, just kind of going out in the world, you know, choosing your own path or creating your own adventure. You know, that's something you could really do on a bike that you can't in a car or even with people. With a bike, you're by yourself. You have only yourself to hang out with, unless of course you have someone on the back, or maybe you're riding with friends. But it really brings out that adventurous spirit in you. So if you're living a life that's a little lackluster and you're really struggling, you know, finding things that kind of elicit these kinds of emotions, I would definitely recommend riding a motorcycle, because it's really going to bring that out of you. Like, I've been riding around for like 3 hours already, just riding around, just doing nothing except for just shooting my videos and just kind of like cruising, and I'm having a blast right now. Like, even just traveling to like the store or to work, you're going to have a great time because you're on the bike. It's truly amazing. So now this probably goes back into the whole independence thing, but the fact that you're kind of like pursuing something on your own, I think kind of radiates out to the world that you're like this kind of like lone rider on a mission. And I'll be honest, I definitely like tap into that kind of persona when I'm on the bike. Like, I always feel like I'm on a mission, even if it's something, you know, mundane or something that's really not important, like what I'm doing now, which is just cruising. You know, I think it's like you feel like you're on a mission, and the people outside of you definitely get that feeling that, like, you know, you're off to like somewhere awesome, wherever that may be. And I think that's also a great feeling. So not all of it will be just what's internal. It's also going to be the world that's kind of reflecting back on you these like awesome things. So with that said, you're going to meet a lot of interesting people too, because people are going to be really fascinated with your lifestyle. And you have to remember, this is a lifestyle choice here, you know? And I think a lot of people kind of wish they could do something like this, but they choose not to, whether it's because they have children or they have some sort of obligation and they just can't risk the possibility of injury, you know, which is something everyone shouldn't be able to risk. But, you know, for some people, they won't even consider it, and that's a shame, you know. But yes, it's really awesome, you know, having people be interested in your life because you're pursuing this like this passion of yours, and it creates, you know, some great, some interesting conversations between you and strangers, and it's a lot of fun. I really do enjoy just taking the bike out, hitting a bar by myself, and people see I'm like all geared up, and they're like really interested, and they want to get to know me, and it's awesome. It's awesome. It's like, it's really great for your social life too, just to be able to get out and to just talk to people and to learn about their lives and for them to learn about yours. It's, you know, it's really amazing. Thank you. It's really good for like your state of mind riding a bike. I feel like my mind is most clear when I'm on my motorcycle. I can go out, go for a nice ride, and whatever I'm thinking about, it just really, I can't say that it goes away, but it just temporarily gets blocked, I would say, at the very least. So if you're ever like having a bad day, you can just hop on your bike and just kind of like leave it behind you just for like an hour, or just what, like, you know, the length of your ride. Like, you can just kind of like block it out of your mind and really just kind of like focus on being in the moment and just enjoying like what you're doing. I think that's really healthy for, you know, your mind. So definitely another benefit of riding a motorcycle. For me, riding a motorcycle has been, in my opinion, the best form of therapy I could ever, you know, ever put resources into. I'm out here in the world, you know, enjoying the scenery. It's nice and green. It's a beautiful day. I'm by myself. I have no one over my shoulder. I can do whatever the fuck I want. It's like, this is freedom right here. This is amazing. For myself, like, I just recently got out of like the most significant relationship I've ever been in my life, and one of my saving graces has been riding a motorcycle. You know, being able to tap into that adventurous spirit, being able to talk to other people that I don't know, so I'm able to kind of like broaden my like worldview and to just to adventure out of my comfort zone, to do something I've never done before that I wouldn't have done if I hadn't ridden a bike. So there's always that to look forward to. But for my breakup, you know, I've been spending a lot of time, or due to my breakup, I've been spending a lot of time on the bike, and it's been like helping me like cope so much better than I normally would without, you know, doing something like this, where I'm just, you know, kind of off doing my own thing, and just like I'm actively pursuing bettering myself by doing stuff like this, and just, you know, taking the time to appreciate what's going on around me, and just really using that time to focus on myself, and to hopefully, you know, come out the end a better person. So with that said, I do definitely want to dive into the topics of heartbreak, and just like my own personal experience with my breakup, because that definitely was one of the experiences that I would say changed my life. And along top of like the study abroad experience, like my breakup. What's up, guys? Oh, and that's another thing. Quick sidebar, like, you're gonna see other bikers on the road, and it's so fucking cool to just kind of like have that moment of like bro bonding, and to be like, yeah, dude, I got you, bro. You know, I love that part. That's something you like definitely can't experience in a car, but like on a motorcycle, it's like one of the coolest things when you see other guys who are doing the same thing that you're doing. Like, you have that moment of connection. It's really awesome. But anyway, back to the breakup stuff. Definitely a topic I want to dive into. It's definitely something that I've used to become a better person, and to like really grow individually, you know, for myself. And I think that it's a topic that is relatable to everyone, and it's something that you guys could hopefully, you know, use. Like, my experience is hopefully something you guys can use to kind of like better your own lives, and to maybe approach this in a way that's different from what you're used to doing, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to like diving into that, and just getting into the nitty-gritty, and talking about all sorts of the kind of deep shit that goes on with the demise of a significant relationship. Alright guys, I think that about wraps up my video. I think I was able to kind of get out the gist of what I wanted to let you guys know. Like, basically, riding a motorcycle is fucking awesome. I guess that's the bottom line. It's definitely a lifestyle change, and like, you know, you're gonna like experience so many awesome things when you're out there on the road, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, in all honesty, to be completely honest, man. It's just amazing, and I really think you guys will, like, you know, assuming you guys are considering riding a bike, like, I really do feel that you'll benefit from this experience. Alright, it's getting a little crazy up here, so I think this is a good spot to end. So, thank you guys for watching my video, and this is LucidDryft, signing off. Peace out.